All right, everybody. Good Saturday evening, and boys, it's been a fun one across the CSRA. You see it there from downtown Augusta, different parts of the CSRA we have been getting in on what is a really good snow. You see it there from Fox 54 Studios, a live look as snow continues to come down across parts of the CSRA. We've gotten a really good coating, enough to at least coat the ground, and some spots getting even more than that, especially north of I-20 and on the South Carolina side of the river. Meteorologist Alex Carter with you here in the Fox 54 Digital Weather Center, again for another live update of what we're seeing across the area. And again, we are anticipating a really good look at what's going to be pretty good snow when it's all said and done here in the CSRA. So thanks for joining us this evening. Again, full team coverage across the CSRA, and we are going to go ahead and show you kind of what's happening all across the region. Let's go ahead and start out with meteorologist Melinda Ball, and I'm going to pull her up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to see that here. Again, awesome views across the CSRA. We are seeing a really good show when it comes to the snowfall. Let's go ahead and take it to meteorologist Melinda Ball. She joins us live from right outside of Fox 54 Studios. Melinda, it's been an eventful afternoon, that's for sure. We've seen some steady snowfall. What are you seeing right outside right now that maybe is not even matching up with the radar trends just as much?
Hello, Alex, and hello, everyone. I am Weather Now meteorologist Melinda Ball, and I'm outside live our Fox studios here in Martinez, Georgia. And you can see we are enjoying a snow day right now. We have snow all across the region today, and you can see plenty of snow on the ground behind us. We picked up anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches across the CSRA, and it continues to snow. You can see all the snowflakes flying around right now. The snow it's like a light fluffy snow out here right now, but let me tell you, it is downright cold out here. I got all my layers on out here, and I have my thermometer, my handy dandy thermometer, and so right now it says it is 25.9 degrees out here. So that's the reason why we have the fluffy snow. So with the fluffy snow, it's not necessarily going to be good packing snow to make snowmen or make snowballs or anything like that, but it's just really pretty to look at. Here in the CSRA, this isn't something that we get to see all the time, but man, let me tell you, the magic happened today starting at noon. We started out with some light flurries across the region, and those light flurries turned to some big fat snowflakes, and then the snowflakes ended up coming down harder and harder as those snow bands started to develop. We had a little bit of convergence come in across the region. That's where the winds were coming together, and that allowed all the magic to happen with the warm, moist air, low pressure developing, and cold air coming down out of the north, and boom, we had the magic. And now you can see we have the winter wonderland here right outside our studios here in Martinez, Georgia. That's Washington Road there, and let me tell you, it's cold, and people are still out here on the road. There's been little bits of traffic here and there, and I was going to tell you, speaking of the roadways, right now they're not that bad. Okay, you can see the traffic coming by right now here on Washington Road, right outside our studios. But when I was making the ride in from North Augusta here into the studios, I traveled down Riverwatch Parkway. I also traveled down I-20 from Riverwatch Parkway to the Bobby Jones Expressway. Yes, it was a little slick on some of the bridges and overpasses, and it was a little slick when we were getting on to the interstate, but right now the roads are just generally wet. But come tomorrow, we're going to get a freeze, and these temperatures, which are in the mid to upper 20s now across the region, when they fall into the mid to upper teens overnight tonight, we will have a problem with refreezing, and we'll have a problem with black ice on the roads as well, since we've had a lot of snowfall accumulation across the CSRA today. So hopefully you are having fun in the snow day today. We're just having a good time out here, enjoying the snow right here at WFXG Fox 54 outside our studios here in Martinez. So now I'm going to send it back inside to meteorologist Alex Carter, who is much warmer than me right now.
I am indeed, Melinda, so I apologize for that. Come back inside, get warm, and let's go ahead and show you a different part of the CSRA just up the road at Evans Town Center. Let's go ahead and show you to the current conditions with our current reporter, Mr. Brandon Smith, who joins us from Evans Town Center. Going to go ahead and pop that up. There he is. Brandon, good afternoon, man. You've been hard at work today. You've been seeing all the fun across the CSRA, no doubt about it. Everybody's playing in the snow. Everybody's enjoying it. What's been the reception up to this point from everybody who's just enjoying the snow out there and really just having a good time with it?
Yeah, that is exactly right, Alex. So many people coming out here today to Evans Town Center Park and having the time of their lives. I'm not a meteorologist, but I can tell you Melinda hit the nail right on the head. It is downright cold out here, but that hasn't stopped the community from coming out here and taking part in one of the best snows we've seen in a while. I was out here around 1 p.m. and I stayed out here till 4 p.m. And during that time, I saw kids out here making snow angels, kids having snowball fights. There were even a few snowmen. I was also able to get some footage of kids sledding down a hill. You know, everybody's just taking full advantage of the snow that we see all too little. And like I said, it is downright cold, but Melinda also said it is downright beautiful, and she is exactly right. It is just like a winter wonderland out here. I spoke to a few people who said they came from up north and this reminds them of home. I spoke to a few Georgia folks who said, hey, we're even enjoying it, you know, this is something we don't get to see too often. So all in all, everybody's just out here doing the best they can, trying to enjoy it, trying to soak up this snow that we don't see that often.
Yeah, Brandon, true that. I wanted to ask you, because you're from the Georgia area, you're from the two-state. Where does this rank in your experiences for snowfalls in your past? Have you seen some that are much larger than this, or does this rank among the best that we've ever seen here in the two-state?
Well, like I said, I am a Georgia boy, born and raised, and in terms of snowfall, this is definitely up there with one of the bigger ones I have seen. Now, I was around for Snowmageddon back in 2014, and let me tell you, I don't think anything, or I hope nothing, is beating that anytime soon. But let me tell you, this is a close follow-up for second, because it is cold out here. It is freezing. This might be, in terms of cold, this might be number one. That could just be because I've been outside for the past 3 hours, or it could just be that cold out. I'm not sure, but I'm feeling every bit of that 25.9 degrees Melinda was talking about, let me tell you.
It's probably because you've been outside for the past 3 hours, so hopefully let's get you inside here very quickly. But one last thought from Evans Town Center, you know, you don't see many people on the roadways. What have those road conditions looked like as you've been driving around the CSRA over the past few hours? What are those current conditions looking like as of this hour? And kind of what are people expecting, or many people on the roads? How's Washington Road looking?
Surprising on both fronts. Road conditions not too bad out here. I haven't noticed any ice. I'm braking pretty well. Obviously driving very slow, very carefully, braking well in advance of when I normally would. But even with all that taken into considerations, road conditions looking like any other kind of rainy day out here. I will say though, a lot of people out on the roads, a surprising amount. But many things are closed today. Tried to stop at Bojangles for lunch. Unfortunately, they were shut down. So not a lot of reason to be out on the road unless you're driving somewhere trying to take in some of this snow. But yeah, people are still out on the roads, and road conditions not too bad if you need to get anywhere.
Well, Brandon, thank you so much for your time, man. Thanks for going out there and reporting on some of those current conditions for us. Stay warm, get back inside, and everybody is enduring some of this cold weather. So, Brandon, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you being out there. And, again, safe travels on the way back here to Fox 54 Studios. Let's go ahead and show you kind of what we're expecting through the remainder of tonight. We've got meteorologist Melinda Ball back inside now. And she joins us, and you see all three of us here in the center. But what we're going to go ahead and show you is some of that Doppler radar look right now and what we're looking at Fox 54 Studios. Melinda, our tower cam, the time lapses are going to be amazing. just because of what we've seen in the past 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, it's just been so cool all day, like with the snow bands coming in, like from start to finish. I mean, this is super exciting for me to experience a snow day like this. I mean, this is the third weekend in a row that we've been talking about winter weather, and we finally got our share of the winter weather today. I mean, it's been a good one. It has been a good one. I think pretty much everyone in the CSRA has been seeing the snow. I mean, look, here's live Doppler radar. Now, you're noticing the blues and the whites on the radar. There is that little dry slot you can see. Look at that. Wow. Wow.
You want to talk about a snow day ruin for some people?
Some people just...
Oh, my goodness.
That would normally be where I would be as the meteorologist. But for some reason, the magic happened right here for us in the CSRA today. So no complaints from me. I'm still a little cold. My hands, I got a little bit of redness going on. I did have my gloves on, but it's still cold out there, guys. You saw my thermometer. It was 25 degrees outside our studio. So if you do have to go out, make sure you dress in layers and make sure you bundle up because the snow's still coming down. I mean, you see that live Doppler radar right there. And we're going to continue to see this throughout the next couple of hours. Just out on the roadways, just be very, very careful. They are wet right now, but as those temperatures continue to drop overnight tonight, we will start to see some black ice. So if you must go out, please use extreme caution because in some areas the roadways are very slick.
It's going to get very cold. And, I want to touch on this dry slot for a moment. This is in North Carolina for the record. This isn't here. We've all gotten it on the snow today, confirmed. But Fayetteville, North Carolina, we had a former producer here. His name is Ed. He's from Fayetteville, and he lives now in South Florida. So he's not worried about this one bit. But if he wanted to see a snow and he were home, this would not be good. That band is going to shift further east. It's just a matter of time. But all day they've been sitting in the dry slot. That's what we were touching on for some of this week, especially by Thursday and Friday, that dry slots could be a factor. And we're seeing the snow let up some parts of the CSRA right now, especially compared to earlier today. But Melinda, dry slots haven't really been much of a huge impact for us. No. It's just the later start that was the bigger impact for us.
Yeah, that's right. I woke up this morning thinking, oh my God, I'm going to wake up to a winter wonderland and we're going to have an inch of snow by 9 o'clock. Yeah. And as I was telling everybody yesterday, and then that wasn't the case this morning. And then I was like, nope, this is going to happen. I see it on the radar. I was seeing it. I was looking at the water vapor imagery. You could see where the trough was still digging down. And I was like, it's just a matter of time. I'm like, we just need things to cook a little bit longer. And then the magic was going to happen. And I was taking a little bit of a slack from my husband, from my daughter. You said it was going to be at this time. And I'm like, just wait, the magic's still going to happen. And sure enough, we've been talking about that magic happening. We had to have the high pressure. We had to have the low. We had to have the low track in the right position. And then we had the dry lines to worry about too. And I mean, luckily, all the magic came together for us here on the CSRA today.
Yeah, it definitely did, Melinda. Something that we were touching on all week long was it's either going to be third time's a charm or 3 strikes you're out. Yeah. And we were hoping for a good CSRA snow, and it did perform. I know that some of these totals are pretty modest because, we were forecasting anywhere from about 2 to 4 by the end of this week. We were looking at it and thinking, well, everything's coming together, but the late start certainly has influenced those totals, and I think we've seen about just about a 1.5 inches so far here at Fox 54 Studios with that latest measurement outside, and hopefully we can pick up an extra 1/2 inch because 2 to 3 inches would verify the forecast.
Yes.
And, the roads, we're verifying the forecast while the roads are still somewhat decent at the moment. Now, is that going to change tonight? Yes. Yeah. Is it going to change for Sunday morning? Yes. Sunday afternoon looks a little bit better. Maybe we can get to 40.
A little bit of melting.
Yeah.
A little bit of melting.
And speaking of that stretch of melting, let's go ahead and show you what we're expecting tomorrow. This is the temperature versus the wind chill. And this is not accounting for the morning. We'll touch on that in a moment. But this is taking all things into account. That this is by 11 o'clock, and I'm going to go ahead and take us off the screen for a minute so you can see that better. 23 degrees what it's going to feel like at 11, but notice the air temperature. That's what matters here. We're going to get above freezing for a stretch of about 5 to 6 hours. That's at best. And so with 5 to 6 hours in sunshine tomorrow, Melinda, I think that's going to do us a lot of good in most of the road conditions, which aren't bad right now.
No.
What little bit.
They're just wet. And on some of those bridges and overpasses, they are a little slick.
Right. They are. True that. They are a little slick, and they will be tomorrow morning as well. And then it's going to get a little bit better Sunday afternoon. And what little bit is left Monday morning could be some patchy black ice. But I just don't think that's going to be such a huge problem that we have to really deal with. So it's looking good, and we are looking good in this forecast in the next week too, Melinda.
Yes. Much warmer, much drier.
Yes, much warmer, much drier. Maybe looking at one batch of rain coming in next Wednesday into Thursday, but it's all liquid.
It's all liquid.
It's all liquid this time.
Yes.
Knocks on wood.
Yes.
Knocks on wood there for sure.
And next weekend, possibly 60 degrees for Saturday. Possibly. And that's what the models are hinting at right now. So for our folks out there that are not, fans of this cold weather, and we want temperatures a little bit warmer, because I mean we have been in this Arctic freeze pattern for like 3 weeks now.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's going to break next weekend, and it's going to be 60 degrees, and we're going to be like basking in the sunshine.
Isn't it going to be nice? I would do anything for an 80-degree day.
Oh, me too.
We had a high of, I believe, 81 on January. It was 10th, January 10th.
Yeah,
it was a few Saturdays ago,
Yep.
3 weeks ago to the day.
Yeah.
Just remember that. And then it got super cold and windy, and then ever since then, it's just been downhill with the winter weather. And this is going to be the worst of the cold tonight. I think this is probably going to be our coldest morning of the season without a doubt so far, not even just based off temperatures, because our low this season in Augusta is 15 degrees. But when it comes to the wind chill, that's what's coming tomorrow. And here's some of those wind chill values to start out the morning. Not pleasant.
No.
And I think the wind chill in a couple spots, if the winds continue to pick up overnight, it could get a little bit cooler than this. 0 to 5 is possible, but 4 to 8 is a realistic range of what you're feeling tomorrow.
Yeah. And remember, this is wind chill value. This is not the real temperature. This is what it feels like, because
Thankfully.
you factor in the real temperature with our winds, which could be gusting up to 30 miles per hour tomorrow. And so to your bare skin, that's what it's going to feel. It's feeling like 6 in Augusta, feeling like 4 in Aiken, feeling like 8 in Barnwell. That's downright cold, and we're not really used to feeling these types of wind chill values.
Right. I mean, definitely not. Florida is getting in on some of this cold air. I looked up the high for the Keys, did some forecasting down for the south half of the state, the Sunshine State rather, 57.
That is really cold.
That's on Sunday.
Yeah, that's cold for the Keys.
I mean, the Keys in the 50s, that just rarely ever happens. And speaking of Florida weather for a moment, I wanted to bring to your attention, we've got Florida flurries floating around right now. Look at this.
That's Jacksonville. Look at that, all the way down into Jacksonville, almost
Lake
to Gainesville.
City, almost to Gator
Country.
Country.
To Gainesville.
Actually, you go right there, right near Noonan's Lake, just east of town, and there is indeed at least some signature of some flurries trying to happen down in Alachua County, Florida. You don't get that.
You don't get that
ever. Lake
Ever,
City,
ever.
I-10 is where we're getting the brunt of those flurries, and some of that. Is it going to stick? Probably not. But, you never say never. Winter has been wild the past couple of years. Last year was the big winter storm that brought snow to the entire Florida Panhandle. And what a snow it was, too.
Yeah, and that event was interesting because it brought snow to the Panhandle, and it brought snow to the coast.
Yep.
But then anywhere west, like Atlanta, didn't pick up any rain whatsoever, or snow, whatsoever.
Purely
at all.
coastal storm.
Yeah.
It was just very compact. This one a little bit more wide-reaching up the East Coast. Very interesting because my friend in Connecticut, they were forecasting, my colleague, he works in the Hartford market. They were forecasting 1 to 3 inches, or 1 to 3 feet, 1 to 3 feet of snow. And then, just because it wobbled east, zero. It
just changed.
It's all or nothing for those East Coast folks up in the in New England area. And he was like, well, we were forecasting 1 to 3 feet, and then the storm just moved east. And that's the caveat you got to make in forecasting.
That's right.
Because, if you don't vocalize that and everybody's dead set on a full-blown blizzard and it moves offshore, especially there, it's a game of margins with the coast. So they are missing this system. Who thought that we would get more snow than Connecticut this go around?
And we talked about this, Alex, in our forecast, like all this week, in the mornings and in the nights. Like we had that graphic of the position of the low, and we kept talking about if this low just moves a little bit offshore, we were going to be in the nil zone.
Yep. Exactly.
It was going to, and our forecast was going to be a big bust, and then we said, if it goes this way, then we're going to have the snow. But if it goes too far off the coast, then it's, we're going to be hitting nothing. And that's the case for some areas in the northeast New England.
Easy
but you
to
can
spot the low.
see that low right there. You can see where
all the
circle is?
lightning strikes are
yeah,
at, too.
so there's a lot of instability associated. And the barometric pressure is dropping really, really fast.
Yeah.
With the system as well. You might have heard on some people with the titles and the headlines, bomb cyclone hitting the,
right.
For those of you who don't understand what a bomb cyclone is, basically all it is it is an area of low pressure that is developing rapidly, and basically what is happening is the barometric pressure is dropping 24 millibars in at least 24 hours. That's all it is. That's all that's happening. So, and then it just makes for a fun forecast.
Yeah, it just makes for a fun forecast. That's right. I think that's a good point to touch on, because you'll hear it in the national media, bomb cyclone. And, we don't want to disassociate from everybody, but we also don't want to scare everybody at home. When you hear bomb cyclone, well, first off, the word bomb never gets taken lightly.
No.
And bomb is a scary word in general, so we refrain from using it. Hurricanes, bomb cyclones, you know what it all is? It's just low pressure.
It's just an area of low pressure. That's
now,
it.
Some lows are not made equally, though.
That's it.
Helene was a low pressure, not made equally to others. This one certainly isn't either. But this area of low pressure, it's moving right up the East Coast. It's been tracing, I would say, no more than 50 to 100 miles offshore.
Yeah.
At the most.
Yeah.
And because it's hugging so close, that's what allowed us to tap into the moisture feed from the ocean and along with that Arctic air. And you combine them together, boom, perfect combo.
Yeah, and you can see, Alex, on this Doppler radar, you can see on the backside of the low, we're still getting those snow bands circulating down in, from the north now, basically, it looks like.
And this is going to slide east as it's pushing in from the north, but we're still going to see some more snow bands tonight. And you see some of those heavier bands up in the upstate. We're looking at our bigger monitor, if you're wondering what we're looking at when we go off to the side.
Yeah.
But those bigger snow bands are trying their best to move in, but you're seeing some dry slotting now at the very end of this time lapse, and I'll go ahead and just make it current so we can see those better. But you can see some of the dry slots forming. Right here is a slot, right here is a slot, and of course, look at that right there in North Carolina is a slot. So starting to see more banding instead of widespread snow coverage, and that looks to be what it'll be through the next, I would say, 4 hours for this event. If it fills in, I would be surprised. But, we can't rule that out. Some of these bands could fill in and bring more widespread snow.
That's right. And then when we get the wind start to kick up, Alex, we're going to be dealing with some blowing snow. Because remember, I talked about when I was outside, I'm like, this is like dry, fluffy snow because temperatures are so cold. So it won't take much wind to get this snow to be like blowing around like dust.
And, you look at the snow accumulations that we're expecting left. We're down to the point where most places are not expecting any more than a half an inch at most. Some areas like Edgefield and Aiken County, which we've been touching on this entire time, winning out on the snowfall lottery, will be picking up closer to about an extra inch, maybe inch and a half of snow for the remainder of this event. But the cutoff line is happening. We're almost pretty much done with the snow if you're in Wilkes and Tolliver County, probably by 9 o'clock tonight. I think, you still got a few more hours, and then it's going to erode from east to west. And actually, Melinda, let's go ahead and dissect the future cast. This is our graph model, and this is at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, this is our in-house model.
And look at kind of what's going on. The banding is happening. Still more snow, but it's more clouds than it is snowpack. And look what's happening by 9 o'clock. This really just begins to taper off.
Yeah.
10, 11, and not much is left. So
maybe
we're in the
just a
home
flurry.
stretch.
Yeah, maybe just a flurry to finish it by
just
10
a
o'clock.
flurry. And by midnight, all this is tapering off towards the coast. And then it's just about the wind chills again. Wind chill values around 4 to 8 degrees tomorrow morning. Not pleasant whatsoever. But that's what we got. That's what we're going to have to deal with. And then tomorrow, again, we made this road conditions map, and we'll show you. Roads are not terrible, but again, it's the dice. You don't always want to risk it, especially this afternoon and evening, tomorrow morning. That's the worst time frame for travel. It gets a lot better Sunday afternoon and then Monday morning. So, again, just breaking down the time frames of what you can expect on the roads. And, again, I'll take myself off the screen so you get a better look at that. But That's kind of what we're looking at. The roads starting to get a little slick tonight. So just if you have to travel, be extra careful. Just extra space between cars, a little bit below the speed limit, just all the simple things. And you'll also want to be slow going simply on the fact of the blowing snow, which, Melinda, you were touching on. Blowing snow problem for visibility. It's kind of like it's just as problematic as a fog can be.
Yes, that's right.
So that's what we're looking at through Sunday afternoon and Monday morning. But we're going to climb out of this pretty quick.
But, I mean, bottom line, if you don't need to go out, don't go out. That's, I think, the main thing I think we need to emphasize to everybody at this point.
100%.
Just stay home with your family and enjoy the snow.
We've seen some great recipes. Everybody's cooking some chicken chili and some soups and all that good stuff. Y'all been sharing your recipes with us, which, it's going to make us hungry here by about 10
That's
o'clock.
right. It is dinner time.
It's getting to that point, Melinda. And, we've had a long day here of coverage. It's been great, though. Everybody's been getting their snow pics in. Thank you guys for sending those.
We really enjoy seeing them.
We really do appreciate it.
And I've been sharing my snow family pictures. We've been calling ourselves the Snowballs today.
The Snowballs.
The Snowballs today.
I like that. That's awesome. This heavy snow band right now, Melinda, this is the heaviest one in action. And it's in southeastern Burke County, running all the way into southern Bamberg County. So Hiltonia is getting in on that along Highway 301, Fairfax, south of Allendale, Sardis, Girard, the Alexander community, if you're riding up from Sardis up to Waynesboro, and northeastern Jenkins County. So these are all hot spots right now for the biggest snowpack. And that band, I mean, we're probably getting, snowfall rates of about, give or take, maybe half an inch an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say. So the longer it stays over you, the better it gets if you're looking for a big snow. Savannah Riverside, even on the far edge of that, right there in southwestern Barnwell County. But again, really good snowfall. Again, for the CSRA, I tend to think that we probably saw the highest totals up to 3 inches.
Yeah.
I would say 3.
And that's probably north of
I-20. Right. Edgefield, Washington. I did get a reading of 3 inches in Wilkes County. That was about an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
So, I mean, could pile up pretty nice there.
And when I left North Augusta at 4 o'clock, we had an inch and a half.
Yeah.
Already. So, and then since I left, there was more snow falling. So, I mean, we could be up to 2 inches. I'm just not there to measure it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we'll probably do a measurement here once we get off the air with you guys at Fox 54 and show you our tally as of 7 o'clock tonight. Hopefully, I'm gonna root for 2 inches here.
Yeah, I'm going for 2 inches.
I think it's gonna be right at the cusp.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll root for that and see what happens. But again,
the magic's already happened.
Yeah, the magic's already happened. So we've got the snow. Again, I know we've touched on this a little bit through the week, but obviously with the ice storm, preparing you for the worst, hoping for the best. Thankfully, we didn't get a whole lot. And this event, we were hoping would verify. Last week, we were not hoping it would verify, simply on account of we never want to see an ice storm.
No.
We never want to see 2014
We don't want to see the
happen.
power outages.
But with a snow day that's not at risk of power outages and the only risk is just a few slick roads, we'll take that and run with it. And everybody's been having fun. And again, if you want to send in your viewer photos and videos, put them in the comments here. We would love to share those on Fox 54 on our newscast tomorrow evening. It's going to be a great time. We'll share them on social media, shout you guys out. It'll be fun. And again, that concludes our Facebook Live here. I think we've covered our bases, let you know what's in store for the next 12 to 18 hours. And then by tomorrow afternoon, Melinda, things are getting a whole lot better.
Yes.
So thank you guys for joining us for our coverage today. And we appreciate that. And again, we'll have more updates to come on Weather Aware Live here on Facebook and YouTube throughout this evening. Make sure to join us here. And again, for meteorologist Melinda Ball, I am Alex Carter as well. Thank you guys. And again, stay safe, have a great night, and stay warm, most importantly.
And have fun.
Yeah, and have fun, and send us those pictures, of course. We'll see you soon.